Hey guys, Jack on Wrist back with another video. So in my State of the Watch collection video, I showed off a watch, the Hamilton Fontainebleau, that I think is pretty interesting, and I wanted to spotlight it in this video. So today, I'm going to give you a full review of my 1969 Hamilton Fontainebleau. So let's get right into the video. So let's talk about this watch. As I mentioned in my State of the Collection 2020 video, which I'll post in the top right corner, this is a 1969 Hamilton Fontainebleau automatic, and it's overall a very interesting watch. As I mentioned, I wear it every once in a while when I'm looking for something fun and exciting just because of its unique design. I think if you had to go out and find a similar case shape watch and a similar design watch to this on the open market, you'd have some difficulties other than this particular watch just because it's so unique. Some things about it: has an acrylic crystal, it has obviously a date at the 6 o'clock, it is non-quick set, and it is a 17 joule ETA based automatic movement, 39 millimeters from left to right, 36 millimeters from top to bottom. The case back is pretty interesting here. It says it's just water resistant, and honestly, I really wouldn't take this watch even to wash my hands, just because it is pretty old and I would just be a little nervous about it. But like I said, a very interesting watch. It's named after a chateau in France, and so that's what gives it the name. I believe that the case shape has something to do with that particular place in France. And it's very interesting. As I mentioned in my video as well for the State of the Collection, it also has a chronograph version, which is way more desirable. So I guess I got a little unlucky with this. This was a sort of a hand-me-down from my grandfather. And but I'm very grateful to have this watch. It's very interesting. Although, yes, the chronograph version is a pretty expensive watch, pretty interesting. Same case, but obviously chronograph. Usually goes for around $1,500 to maybe $2,200, so it's definitely up there in price. Signed crown, as you can see here, and really interesting, just a really interesting case. That's really what makes the watch. It has a brushed finish sort of along this sloped or curved edge here, and a polish finish right here, and that goes into the case back, and it's pretty much all polish, which isn't really a huge deal, or doesn't really mean a whole lot because it's on the case back. But just a really cool watch. I just wanted to spotlight it here because I thought it was one of the more interesting watches in my particular collection, and something that is just a fun watch that you don't really see too much of. And if you are interested in something like this, you do occasionally find the non-chronograph version, and it is usually not that expensive. I believe maybe $100 to $300. I think it's a generally pretty affordable watch if you're looking for something a little different and fun. I just want to mention here as well that it did come with this bracelet here. Very interesting design. I believe it just sort of flips into place here. Two pieces. It wasn't in the greatest condition, and the end links were kind of beat up, as you can tell, so I took it off and just put it on a Hadley Aroma strap. Another interesting thing to note is it's a 19 millimeter lug width, so you have to go a little bit out of your way to find the right strap for it, but not too difficult if you're going to go with a brand like Hadley Aroma or any bigger manufacturer. I mean, I guess if you have a specific look in mind, you might have difficulty finding that, but I didn't have too much trouble finding this. I think this sort of dark brown suits it well. I've also seen this watch come in gold as well, with a sort of champagne dial. Those are really the only two variations I've seen, this stainless steel and the gold. There could possibly be others. And in terms of the chronograph, I believe it's just a black and white, and I believe a white and black, so sort of like a panda and an inverse of that. But yeah, like I said, just an interesting watch, something that I like to pull out every once in a while. It's just something fun. It obviously means a lot to me because it's from my grandfather, but just something that's an interesting watch to pull out. I think if you have a collection full of watches that are, very classically designed and similar, it can get a little boring pulling those out every single day. And so something like this, just to spice up the collection, is really nice. And it gets a decent amount of looks for a watch that is generally a pretty plain in terms of color and material. You know, it's not a gold watch and it doesn't have any crazy colors on it, but it still gets a decent amount of looks just because of the way it was designed. So just an interesting watch and something I just like to share with you guys. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed taking a look at my Hamilton Fontainebleau from 1969. Like I said, it's a very interesting watch, and I just wanted to throw it out there because I haven't seen too much about it online, with it being a pretty obscure and pretty cool watch. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe and leave a like, and any comments or questions down below. I also ask you to check out my Instagram at JackOnWrist for photos of all my watches, including the Hamilton Fontainebleau. And yeah, so thank you, and please subscribe.